at the dark.
Hey everybody out there in YouTube land, this is Will the Dragon Whisperer, back with another video for the channel. Now, this video I am going to be working with a nippy, feisty, a little bit aggressive Brazilian rainbow boa. One of my good customers, Cameron Webb, he's bought some animals and some enclosures from me. He was interested in getting a larger sub-adult boa, and he had a couple of different species he was interested in, and we settled in on this Brazilian rainbow boa. I did not have any, of course, because I don't breed them or raise them, but I have a very good friend, Mr. Patrick Iaquinta from All Things Wild. He's up in Pennsylvania. Me and him have done quite a lot of business together. He's bought some animals from me. I bought some animals from him. He's given me a lot of good advice, and so I reached out to him. He had this beautiful female. I was able to get it from Pat and get it to my customer Cameron, but after Cameron got it, it had not been handled a lot recently, and so the animal has got a little bit of an attitude. So I'm going to be doing a vlog kind of series where I'm going to be putting together 3 or 4 interactions, and over the course of the next couple of weeks I'm going to be putting out multiple videos that are going to show the progress and the techniques and how things are going with Medusa here, this beautiful Brazilian rainbow boa. So I've got her hide kind of broke down so that I can get to her easy, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope this goes well, and maybe you guys will see a snake bite or two. So here we go. Let's hit the road.
Roads, where we're going, we don't need roads.
She feels pretty cold, but here she is. We've got her out of the bag now. She feels really cold. You can see she's cold, definitely coiled and ready. So one of the things I've seen Kevin McCurley and a lot of people do, put them up high, give them a little spin, and let them see their surroundings, let them get oriented. So, but she's very cold right now, so I don't even know if she's going to behave like she normally would. But I didn't want to have to use the snake hook. Now, I've heard boas do this tail curling a lot. She got her tail curled already, wrapped pretty tight around my hand, and she's really just kind of being inquisitive and looking around. And but like I said, she's really cold right now, but she looks amazing. She just came out of shed. I hope you guys can see how beautiful this animal is. I'm trying to be very slow and deliberate with my movements, but the sheen on her, that iridescence that these guys are known for, she's out of a fresh shed, and that iridescence is really, really incredible on these animals. So I'm just going to continue to keep my movements nice and slow and deliberate. These first couple of interactions, I'm just going to work on just her getting used to me and my kind of heat signature, my scent, and my movement, and how I'm going to personally interact with her. And then we're going to transition into some working with her head, trying to get my hand close to her head. We're going to work on some techniques I've seen Clint Laidlaw use, where we'll actually physically bump her head into my body and get her used to having her head encounter things without stressing her out or without that triggering her. So, but this girl is beautiful. She's probably about 3.5 feet right now, but she's beautiful. We're also going to try to feed her, and we'll try to put that on the channel. But once again, I'm trying to keep my movements very slow. If you guys, I don't know if you can make out that tongue flick, but it was really slow. Lets me know she's pretty cold. Yeah, a couple of really slow tongue flicks there, but just an amazing, beautiful animal. She's definitely right now. She's being very nice. Oh, I can feel the tension. She's coiled to strike right now. I can feel it. I can feel the tension in her body, and I was really wanting to get her stretched out again. Try to get you guys, just the iridescence on her is amazing. What a beautiful animal. But this is pretty good. We want to create small threads of trust. I don't want to hold her right now and kind of elicit a strike out of her. That's not the goal here. If we can keep all these interactions low stress and keep her from ever striking at me, that would be great. Obviously, in my opinion, but also good for the animal. I mean, if we never push her to that point, that would be ideal. So I feel like this was a good thread. I feel like this interaction has been good. And we're going to go ahead and try to place her in her enclosure that she's going to have here while she's staying with me. And we're just going to kind of let her feel her way along in her new enclosure. It's warm in there, so she's definitely going to want to get off of me and get into that warm environment. We've had really cold weather here in the south, so the gentleman, Mr. Webb, when he brought her to me, I'm sure she was cold in transit. So she's feeling the warmth inside the enclosure. Baby. I'm going to try to go ahead and give her some rubs while she's distracted right now, exploring her new enclosure and checking out this place. So I'm going to take advantage of that and give her some really good rubs on her body, and use this as time to interact with her where she's not worried about me. She's in her exploratory mode. She's being very inquisitive. I'll try to get every little bit of interaction I can get with her while she's going in there. And she has found her hide. There you go, sweetie. There you go, sweetie. Now the real fun is going to be when I go to get her out of here the first time. But that interaction went very well. No strikes, no aggressive behavior, very inquisitive, and I don't think it could have went any better. Probably could have pushed it a little bit longer, but I did feel her tense up like she wanted to strike at one time. You can really feel it in the tension in the muscles in her body. So I wanted to go ahead and end that thread. If you guys have never watched Kevin McCurley from Nerd, go and check out his channel. Also Jeremy Brassman Reptiles, Rob from Rob is Creeping It Real. All those guys. Really great about the threads of trust and creating small little threads with your animal if you're working with aggression or biting or different behaviors you want to get rid of. So I think this was a great interaction. We're going to go ahead and shut her enclosure and call this good for today. Alright, you guys, this is going to be my second time handling Medusa, the Brazilian rainbow boa that I got from my customer Cameron Webb. I'm going to be trying to tame this girl down a little bit. She's been a little bit nippy and aggressive, so this is going to be my second interaction. I actually fed her earlier today, but I could not find big enough feeders that I wanted to feed her, so I had to get two smaller ones. So I offered her the first one, and while she was constricting it, I went ahead and got her out of there, put her in this tub so that I could rearrange her hide and some other things in her enclosure. The way I had it set up, it was really hard to get to her, to get her out of there, even with the snake hook. So I wanted to make a little bit easier and her more accessible, but still feel protected. So hopefully I've got that to a place she will like in there. And so I'm going to try to handle her for the first time or the second time. And I do have a snake hook in case I need to use it. I plan on probably using that to get her out of the enclosure when I go to handle her, just to get her out initially because of her feeding response. But when she's in a tub or situations like this where I can see her and get to her easier, I'm going to try to just use my hands and go away from the snake hook if possible. We want to kind of get her used to the interaction of humans and the touch of skin on her skin. So here we go, guys. We're about to get into our second interaction with Medusa. Potential snake bite coming. Let's see what happens. I'm going to try to take her out of this tub, put her in the enclosure that I've rearranged, and then offer her another meal. So we'll see how all that goes. There she is. She's looking nice and pretty. Hey, girl. There you go. She's definitely feeling very tense. She's definitely feeling very tense. But we got her out without the snake hook. She's definitely looking coiled to strike. She's looking at me pretty good right there. It's okay, sweetie. It's okay. It's okay, baby. Turn around so you guys can see her. It's okay, pretty girl. Yeah, it's okay, pretty girl. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. She's a pretty girl. She's a pretty girl. Definitely coiled to strike though, and she's got a lot of tension in her body. I can feel it. Good tongue flicks. She's exploring. Definitely keeping her eyes on me a lot. She's definitely focused right in on me. We just want to use slow, deliberate movements. I don't want to let my thumb really move out there and give her a target either. So I just eased my thumb under her neck right there. She didn't like it. She's pulling back. She's trying to assess the situation. But these first couple interactions, you know, once I've handled her a little more, then we're going to start working on some techniques. These first couple interactions, I don't want to try to introduce any techniques that are going to stress her out. These first couple interactions, I just want her to get comfortable with me before we move any further. I'm going to try to now see, I'm trying to move my hand away from her tail, and she's not liking it. She's licking my skin right there. I hope she doesn't try to bite me on the arm. But we'll see. I really want to let go of this hand. She went right back into strike mode. I can feel the tension in her body. I just want to move that tub. See, she's really exploring. She's being really good right now. I mean, this is a beautiful, beautiful snake. I'm not going to let her get really close to my face because if she does want to bite me, I'm not going to let her bite my face. But I've handled her this whole time, no snake hook. I took her out of the bin. She hasn't struck yet. I'm expecting a strike though because I can feel the tension. I mean, just from handling ball pythons, I can feel the tension in their body, and she's very tense. Very, very tense. Hopefully she's just thinking I'm a tree branch right now. She's such an incredibly. I probably was out of frame there. Sorry, you guys. She is such a beautiful snake, and she's not letting her eyes off of me. That's for sure. Like I said, she's very, very tense. It's okay, baby. It's okay. It's okay. It's just me. Try to introduce my other hand to her. Let her lick me, get a feel for me. She's actually really being a sweetheart. Like, she's really being a sweetheart. I don't know that I would pass her off to a kid or just reach in there and grab her right now. But she's really being a sweetheart. Now we're going to put her back in her enclosure. I think this interaction has went as well as I could have hoped. No aggression. She's been very exploratory. I mean, what a beautiful freaking animal. So we're going to put her in her enclosure and attempt to feed her again. I'd say this interaction, once again, I'm surprised because everything that Mr. Webb has told me is that she's been really feisty. And, like, I'm going to, again, get her up close to her neck and manipulate her. I'm going to try to pass her from hand to hand. No issues. So we're going to keep working with her. And like I said, probably another 5 to 7 good interactions like this. She's already liking her new cave. And then we'll go to the training techniques to even further desensitize her to handling. Like the head bumping, to actually touching her on her head. So there she goes, pretty little girl. And we're going to give her another meal here in a second when she gets situated and see if she'll take it. This is going to be my third interaction with Medusa. I fed her, and so I wanted to give her 48 hours, so I have not handled her the last 2 days. So this is actually the 5th day she's been back in my care, and our third interaction. I've already removed the top pieces of rock that make up her hide so that I can get to her easy. Like I said in earlier clips, I'm trying to work with her without the snake hook. I have it here if I need it. But I'm trying to work with her without the snake hook. I really want to be able to reach in the enclosure and get her without using the snake hook, and I want Mr. Webb to be able to do that as well when he gets her back. So we're going to see how that goes. This is going to be the first time that she's in her warm hide, and I'm reaching in there with my bare hands to try to get her out of there. So she's coiled up, and I can't really see where her head's at, but we'll see how this goes. I'm actually going to use a technique I used with retics when I had some retics in my care, where I'm just going to touch her a few times with a paper towel roll, and a lot of people call that tap training. If you've ever seen Clint's video, or Dave Kaufman, Brian Cusco, a lot of the big guys talk about it. It just lets them know that, kind of lets them aware that you're coming in the enclosure and you're going to interact with them, and it's not a feeding time. I found that paper towel roll is good because it's soft and easy. If they do strike at it, it's probably not going to cause any damage to the animal. So I'm just giving her a few little light taps and rubs. She's not really moving. I can see her, breathing, but I still can't see her head. But I've kind of let her know now that I'm coming in there and touching her. So here we go. I've got her now. We'll see if she strikes at me. She is such a pretty girl. I'm going to give her my other arm so she's got plenty of stability. Let me get that thumb out of the way. She's doing a lot more tongue flicks. She's not cold. First time I interacted with her, she was cold. Second time I interacted with her, she felt kind of cold. I'm going to lift her up. I like to lift them up and do the spin, just to kind of let them orient themselves with their surroundings. And I also think it maybe distracts the animal away from me, because I ultimately want this animal to think I'm a tree or just an enrichment item for it to climb around on and explore. I really don't, in its mind, me personally, I don't even want them to think that I'm a human and we're going to be buddies and friends. I think that's kind of an irrational way to look at it, especially with a snake that's feeding response is kind of the way theirs is. I mean, these snakes are semi-arboreal, so they're going to climb up in the trees a lot of times, and they're going to go after birds and bats and things that are going to be moving fast. So when they sense a heat signature that's moving fast, they're going to strike first and think about it later, because that could be a missed opportunity for a meal. So and they don't know when that opportunity may come again. So she's definitely coiled up. She's tense. I think she's really going to strike here in a second, but I'm going to just try to remain calm. With a ball python and some other species, you can do whatever you want, but with an animal like this that's going to trigger on fast movement, you want to keep your movement slow and deliberate. So I'll try to get her a little closer to the camera for you guys so you can see the iridescence and the beauty of this animal. I mean, oh my God, I'm falling in love with this species. See, she is deadlocked on me no matter where I put her. She's really, really focused on me. So I'm going to put her up high, a little bit more, spin her around. She's doing her tongue flicks. That's really, really good. I'm going to start trying to give her some rubs on her body. Let her know that even though I want to see her to see me as an enrichment item right now, I want her to get used to that human feel and that human interaction and somebody petting her or rubbing her, touching her, checking her out. So just going to try to keep those movements slow and deliberate. She's tongue flicking, and I haven't worked with this species enough to know if they're similar to a ball python, whereas a lot of times when you're first handling one or one that hasn't been handled a lot, they're going to stay in that ball for sometimes 15 to 20 minutes, and then all of a sudden it's like they feel safe, they calm down, and they start exploring. The first and second time I handled her, she explored a lot more. She was a lot more moving, but I think right now, because she's really warm, and she has just been fed recently, so I don't think she's in food mode or hungry, but she's definitely very cautious right now. I can feel the tension in her body. I can feel her being defensive. I want to try to move her a little bit. I want to try to get her to move some. I just don't. I'm not trying to encourage her to strike. I just want her to move on me. I want her to. I can't really test her temperament or see what her mood is because she's not moving. She's just staying really, really tense, like she wants to strike. And that's what we want to get out of her. We want her to be able to feel like she can be manipulated and be handled. I'm going to go ahead and let this hand go and see what she does with that tail. She's such a beautiful animal though. Like, wow. But you can see, you guys, she's pretty much trained on me, and she's really focused on me. I really want to get her focused on some other things. This is the first time she's resting her head on my hand now. Well, she's had it up kind of most of the time, but she rested it on my hand right there as she was starting to relax. And I don't know if these animals are very exploratory. People that watch this, please hit me up in the comments. I've seen a lot of arboreal snakes. When they are handled, they just kind of coil up in a comfortable spot and kind of post up just like they do in their enclosures. And see, I'm rubbing her tail right here, and she's not. But she is definitely very, very alert. Like, so alert right now. It's okay, pretty girl. We just want you to have a good life. We want you to enjoy people seeing you and interacting with you and being able to enjoy you and all your beauty and splendor. You know, we don't want you to be stressed out. We don't want to antagonize you. We just want you to be a nice girl, and we want you to enjoy being handled. She's starting to kind of come out of her shell now. But you guys call me crazy, but I don't like it when a snake that I know could be biting gets close to my face. So I'm not going to let her go too far at my arm before we try to move my other hand and reposition her. But she seems like she's wanting to explore a little more. And I really want to be able to hold her for long periods of time. And I'm going to progress to that. And, you know, when we get to those stages, I'm not going to put all that in the video. The videos will be way too long. But I do want to... Now she's starting to get into explore mode. I do want to be able to... Now, this is what I wanted to get to. I do want to be able to hold her for much longer periods of time. But I also want to keep our bonds of trust, our little threads of trust, short in the beginning, so that I don't stress her out, and I don't, you know, I don't, like I said, I don't want to elicit a strike. If I can get through these 3 or 4 weeks of working with her and she never strikes at me one time, that's the goal. That is the goal. We're not trying to make a snake strike and make it mad and then get that out of it. We don't want to ever get that if we can help it. So as long as this thread has been good, I feel like we've accomplished something. This was the 3rd time I've taken her out of her enclosure or wherever she was at barehanded. Have not used a snake hook yet. This is the 3rd time I've got her to kind of open up and become exploratory in my hands without striking. I mean, she is such a beautiful animal. Really, really beautiful animal. So, I mean, the iridescence, I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but the iridescence is amazing. And I'm going to say one more thing in the video before I put this girl up. I don't want to get into anything controversial, but I do believe in God, and if you believe in another higher power, you know, I don't judge anyone, and I don't claim to know anything that other people don't as far as being right or wrong when it comes to what I believe as far as a higher power. And if any of you guys out there do believe in a higher power, or whether you don't, I'm not trying to get into that discussion, but I firmly believe that the Lord put us on this earth to be the stewards of these animals and to take care of them and to protect them. And I really do believe that we've been given dominion over these animals, and I believe if you have a certain spirit and a certain attitude when you work with them, they can sense that, and I believe it will reflect in your success with their behavior. I never handle my animals if I'm in a bad mood or if I've had a bad day and I'm still in that mood. I always make sure that I'm kind of in this Zen spiritual mindset before I handle any animal that I know may be aggressive, and I always go ahead and put my mindset, my head in the mindset that I may very well take a bite, and I need to I need to accept that could happen. So and I just want to put that out there. You know, if somebody else is not having success, then maybe it could possibly be mindset, and not that you need to believe in God or that you need to practice religion. I'm just saying that the animal can feel the kind of vibes that you're putting off, and I really think that's a big part of it. You want to let that animal know that you're not going to cause it any harm. I mean, she was just trying to get away right there, and I literally had to wrangle her out of that paper towel hole, and she never turned around and got aggressive or striked. I really think she's going to be a really nice, handleable snake when it's all over with. But we're going to put her back in her enclosure and let her have the rest of the evening to herself, and we'll begin working with her again tomorrow. All right, you guys, Once again, this is Will Dragon Whisperer. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Sorry there was so much repetitiveness, but when I filmed these little segments individually, I was kind of nervous working with the snake, and I know I repeated a lot of things. But thank you guys for watching the video. Smash that like button, ring that notification bell, subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for helping me get to 1,000 subscribers. And I want to leave you guys with a few little nuggets. All things are small to a giant. Be a T-Rex. Be invincible. This is Dragon Whisperer, and I'm out.